I'm trying to film, Diesel. I'm trying to film. Do you want to say hi? No, you can't eat it. Say hi. Come here. On the outskirts of Peru, Indiana, there is an area of woods. Legend has it, it's an old Indian burial ground. A girl named Stephanie was taken out there, raped, and murdered. 8 decaying bodies were found. And a man who went camping in the 70s disappeared. What am I talking about? Okie Pinokie. Welcome to Travel+Mystery, and I am your host, Justin Adair. I hope you're doing well. On today's episode, we're going to talk about a wooded area called Okie Pinokie. Now, this is an area that I have actually went to as a teenager. I grew up in Logansport, Indiana, not far from Peru. And on the outskirts, there is a wooded Indian burial ground that is scary as hell. It is notoriously haunted. A lot of ghost hunters go out there. In 2018, a man was actually murdered. But before that, the legend was that a young girl named Stephanie was taken out there. Stephanie is someone who still haunts the forest today. If you scream her name 3 times, you start to hear whistling, and then you start to hear Stephanie scream back. In the 60s, a girl named Stephanie was tortured and murdered out in Okie Pinokie. In the 70s, a man disappeared while camping out there. And in 2018, a man was murdered. Now, is it a coincidence that all of these horrible, tragic things happen out in Okie Pinokie? Probably not, because it is known to be an old Indian burial ground. It's also known to be where mobs would drop dead bodies. Seeing how bodies were found. Anytime that I've been out in Okie Pinokie, I've always heard the screaming because we've always yelled for Stephanie's name. This is a haunted woods that I would say is dangerous. Actually, they do not allow hunting or camping there anymore. And they probably haven't in a long time. I would say if you are going to go out to Okie Pinokie to check it out, definitely go with a group of people, not just one or two, or by yourself. Also, I'll go ahead and put the address so that way y'all know where it's at. Okie Pinokie is eerie, and there's a darkness there, regardless. You know, there are horse riding trails nearby, so they say that it's usually just people from across the river knowing that a bunch of teenagers are out there yelling Stephanie, so they yell back. But how do you describe that feeling that somebody is watching you? There are pictures. Now, this is a very swampy, wooded area. And I've been out there more than once. So I've had different experiences with different people, day and night. One thing that I will recommend you not doing is going in the woods at night, even with the flashlight. Those woods are thick and you can easily get lost in them. I do remember a bunch of us going into the woods at night, but we ended up not going far. Someone in the front of the line got very creeped out and told us to head back. So, Okie Pinokie, it starts out being just a gravel road in the middle of nowhere. You go down this curvy gravel road, and trees start hovering you, and it leads into this circle, which, and once you get to the circle, there are woods surrounding you. I remember the first time we went there, we turned off the car, we sat in the dark in the car and just watched. Now, I remember it just always being very creepy, and it's like someone is watching you. And my experiences have always been, my experiences have always, there's always something that has happened. A bunch of us during the day explored the woods. It was a group of us, and I remember reading somewhere after that there are handprints that are commonly found on cars, on windows, and stuff like that. So when we got back from walking the path during the day, there was a handprint, a dirty handprint, like a child had put a handprint there. And I had told the person that I was with, and they laughed it off like I was the one that put it there. Now, it could have been any one of us, or it could have been Stephanie. So the circle, once you go down the gravel road, is actually commonly known as the Devil's Circle. The Devil's Circle is actually where most of the paranormal activity happens anyways, rather than the wooded area. Like I said, the wooded area is very thick, and I would not recommend going out there alone. And also, as you know, we are traveling, this is a vlog. We're gonna get a little bumpy, but that is where most of the investigation happens. So I do remember yelling Stephanie's name, and I remember, you know, and them hearing screaming back. Now, I remember a bunch of us being freaked out and getting into the car, and somebody, I remember like it was an uncle or something, and he was driving really slow down that long path, and we were on our way out because we just had freaked ourselves out and experienced a lot of different stuff. And it felt like somebody was walking behind the car very slowly behind us. And it was like we could not breathe until we were off, until we were out of there. I used to have an old video. I remember even back then I was filming videos, and I wanted to make a little documentary, but I don't have the footage of when I went out there. It was on an old digital camera in like 2010. But as always, thank you for watching. Okie Pinokie is okie dokie scary, okay? If you believe in ghosts, or if you want to talk about more content that is haunted, go ahead and leave a ghost in the comments. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you for being here. Have a great day.